Have you ever gotten bored of using the same materials to make jewelry over and over again? No? Well, I do. I love to make jewelry, but I love to use different mediums to make it. And if I use the same thing, like just wire over and over again, I start to get like bored of it, and then I start looking for new ways to make it. So, in today's video, I'm going to be showing you the curated collection by Beads to Live By. And we're going to be making a necklace. I have in mind what I want to do, and using those really pretty seed beads. I also ordered their companion check bundle. So that means that there's some strands that Cassandra puts together that match perfectly with the seed beads or whatever is the colors of the curated collection for the month. But in this video, I'm going to be incorporating different mediums to make a piece of jewelry using the curated collection, the check beads, and some little other extras that I want to show you that I'm keeping right now as a surprise. So without further ado, let's go. Oh, as you always, you know the drill. Everything will be linked in the description box below. Comment, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. And let's move on to see what we can make with this month's curated collection. All right, so here are the colors for the curated collection seed bead edition. And in January's box, we've got this gorgeous pink. It's like a rosy pink, super pretty. I love this tone of pink. And then we've got more of a mauve, purpley tone. And then we've got these silver lined, or they've got like an AB finish on them. Really pretty. This is what you would get if you subscribe to this collection. And then you can look at my other, you can also look at my past box unboxing so you can see the other colors too. And look at this. This one is really pretty. It goes with that mauve tone in a deeper, darker, in a darker tone. It goes beautiful with this. With these colors. And then we've got a silver lined. Look at how pretty these are. And then we've got a beautiful turquoise. It's like a matte turquoise. And then we've got this gorgeous, like a forest green, a deep green. And I'll be taking these out in a minute when we make our project. For the companion bundle, so you could order separately. These are the strands that you would order for the month the January. Look at how pretty the hematite color hearts are, which is perfect for, making some Valentine earrings. And that's why I think we've got some lovely pinks over here that be ready for Valentine's Day. And then we've got these gorgeous, and it looks like they have a Picasso finish, these gorgeous pressed glass check beads, and like I said, with a Picasso finish. Look at how pretty these are. It's like a table cut. Beautiful. And then I've got these gorgeous kind of like a diamond shape, or like more, well, kind of a square oval type, and they have like these little swirls in them. The beautiful turquoise. And then we've got these gorgeous, also like, they're like frosted on the ends and table cut, clear, and the beautiful mauve tone pressed glass, check glass beads. And then finally we have these gorgeous pink, they're cubes, but they also look like they have like little stars. Let me see if I can show you guys, but I love that color. It looks like bubblegum. But it's really, really pretty. They're not all the same pinks. You've got some more on the mauve side. So a beautiful variety. So like I said, they make the perfect complement to the seed beads for the month of January. Cassandra is, oh, and I'm forgetting one. I can't believe I left these guys out. She sends a ton of, there are a ton of seed beads. I don't know why I didn't see that one. Oh my goodness. This one is, again, a lined, beautiful mauve tone, that seed bead. It's got also kind of like that rainbow AB finish on it. Really pretty. And again, look at how perfect those go together. I mean, just so the bag doesn't shine. Look at how beautiful those are. So like I said, just some beautiful seed beads that go really well together. A ton of them. You get a ton in the subscription box. And then you can, like I said, order these these gorgeous check beads that go with them. And then you can also get, I mean, you can also, and then she has in her shop, but she sent these to me. So thank you so much, Cassandra. I get this like, it's almost, they almost look like rose quartz. No, they look like it, but they've got like a very subtle, they look white, but they got like a very subtle pink looking. Maybe it's because I'm seeing everything pink, but I don't know if it comes across in the camera. Doesn't it look like a little bit of pink? I think. I made that rhyme. Then we've got these gorgeous silver ones. Look at that. Then they go perfect with that. Cassandra's so good at matching up these, you know, combining colors. I believe she told in our live, she told me that she had a degree in interior design, something about regarding art and color, and she knows a lot about color theory and mixing colors. So she does a beautiful job with blending these colors together. So it takes a lot, like a lot of guesswork out of, you know, trying to find the right seed beads. Look at these. These are like a size, I would think these are like a size 2, but look at how gorgeous. They have that little finish. It's like a metallic finish. Looks green. I don't know, it's really pretty. And then we've got some of the same ones, a fire polish, but these are matte. And also it looks like these are a size 2. Really, really pretty. I love them all. First, we're going to do a pendant for our necklace using the seed beads, using these check beads. And I have this gorgeous, look at how perfect is that. This gorgeous rose quartz cabochon right here. And I wanted to show you how gorgeous this cabochon is. Look at that. This one I got from Dakota Stones. They're located here in Minnesota. They have just the most beautiful stones. So this is, like I said, a rose quartz. And now I'm into, or recently I've become addicted. Let me see if I can pull them all out. I'm addicted to polymer clay. Like I need another hobby. No, look at these, you guys. Aren't they beautiful? I made these flowers. I've been learning how to cane. They call them canes. And then you slice up the cane, and then you've got these beautiful figures inside. So how gorgeous are these? And I made sure, that's why it took me a while to upload this video, because I wanted to make sure I had the right color combo that would go all together. I made these leaves. I learned how to make these leaves too. And these, I mean, there's so many videos online, but I'm also part, I've been learning a lot with, it's called Turtle Soup Beads. It's Susan. She has her own Patreon, and she does just beautiful work. She is like, loves pink like I do. She's like really, really, how can I say it? She has a really, her sense of style is very much like what I love to do, elegant, you know, and more vintage looking, things like that. So I've been kind of learning from her. So go check her channel out. She has a channel and she's got some shorts so you can see her projects. You guys have to see her projects. They're awesome. Yep, just look her up at Turtle. You can do like the @ Turtle Soup Beads, and you'll see the lovely necklaces that she makes with polymer clay, and she uses a lot of the seed beading as well. So I thought it would be perfect to incorporate these. So we're going to use all of this stuff in our design today. So let's get started. Okay, so we're going to start with our pink cabochon, and we're going to take some 18 gauge wire, and because we're going to be using different materials, I'll tell you as we go along what you need. So we're going to be using 18 gauge material as 18 gauge wire, and I'm going to be using my 6-step looper, and I'm going to be using this size right here. Okay, so first what we want to do, because this does not have, it's not drilled, we need to be able to encase it so that it can hold on to this stone and not fall out. You're also going to need your nylon jaw pliers for this part of the tutorial. So I'm going to use it to straighten out my 18 gauge wire. And first what we want to do is encase it all around, and I'm going to show you how I do that. So we're going to take this wire here, and I'm going to work off the roll. So I'm just going to leave a little bit there just to have a little lip to hold on to. When you twist your wire, when you make this loop, make sure like you're going in the same, don't put it in front and in back. So if, like for me here, I put the wire towards the back, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. So again, I'm going to leave a little space so that the wire has space to nestle in there. And again, we're going to make another loop. And again, I'm going through the back just to make sure that it's all nice and uniform. And what we're going to be doing, yep, that's the perfect size. So we're going to be doing as many loops as we need. So that's the fun part of this, is that you can use any stone that you have. It doesn't have to be this exact same size. So this one is a 40 by 30 millimeter. Just if you wanted to get the same size. Otherwise, like I said, it's adaptable to any size that you would, whatever stone you have on hand. And I'm just going to keep making as many circles as I need, or loops, to go around, to be that will be, as long as the circumference of this, go around the entire stone. So let's continue making these. Okay, so I am done with these loops, and as you can see here, it's kind of slippery, but trying to make sure that I measured it up to how, to where it ended here. Okay, so like that. So now what we're going to do is take some more of that 18 gauge wire, and we're going to make the base frame, if that makes sense. So I'm going to cut 13 inches on this one, because we're going to need to make an extra loop, and I'll show you in a minute why. So we're just going to straighten this guy out, and then we're going to bring in some 24 gauge wire, again in silver. And what we're going to do is find kind of like, it doesn't have to be exact, but our middle. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 24 gauge wire. So I'm going to start over here, and that's why we needed that lip to have something to anchor on. And again, I'm going to leave a little piece of the 24 gauge wire as well. And once I get it a little bit anchored, then we can fully center it. So let me just stretch out some of this wire. So I'm just going to go around and give it, I'm going to do 3 turns. Okay. Then I'm going to go through each loop. Okay. 1 and 2. I'm going to do 2 just to make sure that it's on there really well. 1 and 2. Okay. So let's make sure it looks, yeah, that looks about right. I'm going to go right here. 1 and 2, and just keep going till we reach this end. Okay, so there we are. Now what we're going to do is take these guys here. Okay, so I'm just going to bring these 2 guys together here, push these guys up here, and then you can also have a lot more leverage to grab on to something here. So I push this one. I need to bring these together as much as I can, because that's where this cab is going to sit. See, now I was able to bend it over and really lock it in there. I'm going to do the same with this side. Pull and bend it over. Bring it up through here. that in there. Oop. And we're still going to tighten things up, but you can see it starts to form. All right, so as you can see, we've got our little, I want to say like little filigree or little casing for our cabochon. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take that same 24 gauge wire, because we need to make a little platform for this so that it's nice and locked in there. So I'm going to cut a long piece of these 24 gauge wire. This time I'm going to need to cut it. I cut a wingspan of this. If you don't know what a wingspan is, it's when you extend your arms at the all the way to the end, and that's how much is a wingspan. Now what we're going to do is you can take your round nose pliers or your 6-step loop pliers. I'm going to take these guys here, and what I'm going to do is, if you could see here, I'm going to go on each one of these loops here, and right there, and bring it through. No, I think I'm more comfortable with my round nose pliers. I don't remember how I did it the first time. But there, just like that. Take it through and bring it through the loop here. So it's going to be a little tricky to start off with, but that's okay. That, and make sure, and then just go through there again like so, and then bring it back through here. And I'm just going to grab this here like this to make sure I got the right size. There. And then bring it through here. And I'm just doing it twice. See how we're making those loops? All right, so I finished all these loops here. Now we're going to go back. So I went through the next loop before the last. And now what we're going to do is we're going to start going backwards. We're going to go through this one. And then we're going to make sure that it's nice and straight. Then we're going to, again, go down through here, through this one. And come up through the previous one. And you can even straighten it out with your pliers if you want. Okay, you guys, so I ended up finding this paintbrush stick, and I think it's working a lot better. You just need something to anchor yourself so that you make that perfect round loop. So once you go down the loop, you go up the previous one. And actually this works out even easier for me because I can leave it in there and it won't change the shape of the loop. I'll show you. So you just kind of pull like that. Oops, and you go to this side. And then you take your, see how you have that perfect little round? And then you just put it on the next, in front of the next, the next loop that you're going to make. And you know, there's going to come a point where you're not going to be able to grab every single loop because you're shrinking. You're going smaller and smaller. So just start, you know, and adding it to the next loop that you find. is the most closest one. So for me, here would be this one that I go down this one. I hope this is making sense. That's why I keep showing it, even though it might be a little boring for others. So I just have my, I hate when it gets stuck on these wires. I have it on here like this, and then I just pull, but I pull towards the opposite side of the brush, and then I go back up the one that's right before it, and without getting stuck on all the other wires, you can, there we go, kind of straighten that out, because you don't want to kink your wire. So make sure you're straightening out your wire, keeping it nice and straight, and bring it all the way back around. And then you can bring your thing, see, and you've got your loops that you're creating. All right, so as you can see, I'm down to the center. I'm going to take this out, and now what we can do is, now we could just kind of sew it together, because we want to go back up here to this area here. So I'm just going to go down through, because we don't want it to look, I mean, it's still, it's okay that if it looks just loopy and not, I mean, not, it's not too messy, but it doesn't look like it was made with a machine, because it is handmade, you know. But now we just want to make sure that it has a nice finish. So when you look at the back, I mean, it's still going to look nice and clean. So just going to, I'm just kind of looping through, see, just closing this up, and it still looks really nice. And I'm gonna go, I'm just kind of going through here. I don't want, you don't want to go too extended between one and the other, so that you don't see these big connection points. It just is to look like everything's looping together, if that makes sense. I'm going to go up through this one. I was a little worried at first because I couldn't find the right size. So you want to make sure that you're working with the right size of, like, template, you know, not template, but like, you know, round tool, so that you have nice, even, you know, you don't have such a hard time making those loops. Just going to go down through here again. And also making sure, as I mentioned previously, that you don't want it to kink. That. And I have kind of an empty spot here that I want to fill in. That's okay, we're just going to loop our wire through here. Like so. And I'm going to go down through this one. Like this. See how we're now tying all these, you know, any holes are coming together, and we can see a nice looping between everything. And I'm going to come up through this one here. And so it's all about, like I said, taking your time, being patient. Just going to wrap it around this end here. So now what we can do is put our cabochon in here and not worry that it's got a little nice bed, so to speak. And now we don't have to worry that it's going to pop out on us through the back. You can shape it a little bit more with your hands to make sure it's nice and oval. And then you can bring these loops, these circles down like this. But that's not just all we're going to need to hold this guy down. I mean, I'm just using this for now. Where's my, you can, bring these together and just shape it in here. So, all right, so as you can see, it's nice and pillowed in there. Already it looks really pretty. Now what we're going to do is, now what comes in is some of our seed beads. As all usual, we're going to start up here. You want all your wire work to kind of be in the same place. That way you can at the end do some decorations and cover it up. And I'm going to start here by grabbing onto this first loop and just going, again, I got like a wingspan and going through here. Let me just make sure I got this right. Yeah, going through here, and then it'll be hidden once we cut the excess, because that's what we're always looking to do, is try to hide that wire. All right, so what we're doing is that we are closing these loops over the stone, but we're also putting these pretty beads here to decorate it, so it doesn't just look like we're passing a wire through there. Okay, so I started with 5, but I decided to switch it, the rest to 3, because it's easier to, otherwise they slide into these loops. So I think 3 will work out perfectly to tighten up these larger loops down here. So I'm just going to start, it's kind of like a sewing type of situation. I'm going to start doing that, and I'm going to... All right, so here is the cabochon finished. As you can see, I put the little three little of those really pretty pink seed beads, 15 O's, right? I mean 11 O's right here on here, and look at how it just adds that. It almost looks like it's like a really pretty filigree. So what we're gonna do now is get this bail done so we can do the rest of the necklace. So what I'm gonna do is take these two here, these 2 wires that are left, and try to get them as close as possible to each other. Let me see if I can grab these and really squish them in there as much as I can. There. And what we're going to do is just do some wire wrapping with a 26 gauge silver wire. Again, from Designs Wire. I really like this wire. It's really, how can I say it? Really sturdy. It doesn't like lose its coating really fast. The only thing I don't like is these are these rolls, because they just go everywhere. But we're going to work off the roll. We're going to cut this end here. And because it's a brand new roll. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take the end of our wire. Again, we're going to leave a little lip that we can grab onto. And we're going to go down here. Because we already have some wrapping up here, we want to wrap it down here 5 times. 1, and then you push it down, you either with your nail or your nylon jaw plier, 2, 3, where is it? 4, let me see how many I got. Am I not counting properly? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we got 5. Apparently I don't know how to count. All right, so there's 5, and then we're gonna do together 1 and 2, and it's okay if these cross over. We'll just start to separate them, but we want them to be, that'll help them close up like this. All right, so we're gonna do that for about 1.5 inches. Okay, 1. All right, so I did a little bit over 1 inch. I think 1.5 inches would have been a little too much. So what now, I'm gonna leave this connected. Don't cut it off. Now what I'm gonna do is push this guy forward a little bit, like that. See? And then grab you can grab a pen, or I'm gonna grab my nylon jaw pliers. And I'm gonna do the second to the largest. I think will work fine. And then I'm just gonna bring this down over and just fit it in there. Now, see how it just fits perfectly? Now what I'm gonna do is take this guy here, this little foot of the wire here. I'm leaving this in here so it doesn't lose its shape. And this guy over here, okay? So, all right, let me see, there we go. Just gonna move this guy to the front, this wire. So, because this is 18 gauge, it is not, we don't need to like tie it down. It's gonna be, once we get these in position, it's not gonna go anywhere. I'm gonna pull these forward just like that and straighten this out. So now what we're going to do is take this wire here. What I'm going to start to do is wrap this wire. Now at first it's going to be a little tough because I'm getting back here, but see, it'll start to go. You can push it back with your nail or with a plier. Or you can wrap it before you can wrap the wire before you put it in front, but I didn't want to scrape this thinner wire. I didn't want the pliers that I was going to use to lock it in to scrape my thin wire, but I'm able to get it in there, see? So I'm just going to continue wrapping. Which way am I going? I'm going to continue wrapping this until I reach, I want to say right about there. So this is, how long is this? To give you a better measurement. This is 2 3/4. So I'm just, like I said, I'm going to go right about there. I'm going to keep wrapping. So let's keep wrapping. Okay, so here we are. Now we can cut this guy off here and tuck this in here. And now we can cut this end, and we're going to leave a little lip so that we can grab on to this wire without needing to ruin our pliers. Ruin our spiral. So now what we're going to do is we're going to grab the tip here like this, and at the very tip, so don't worry if you slip, like that. And I'm going to start our little swirl. There we go. And hopefully now I can grab onto it with my nylon jaw pliers. Sometimes when the wire is too thick, it's kind of hard to do. But this wire seems to be a little soft. There we go. Looks like it's happening. Get it nice and tight. See, remember I told you guys that we were going to cover up all this wire? Well, this is how. And also, it gives us an extra layer of protection for this stone right here to stay in place. So now we've got one. I'm going to start doing the same with this one here. I'm going to start just wrapping, making a spiral on this stone here. I mean on this stone, on this wire here, on this side. So again, leaving that little lip. And I'm going to start wrapping here until I reach about there. All right, so we're done with this side. And so I'm going to cut this little wire off. And I didn't realize I left this little wire there. And where's my little? And then we're going to just tuck these sharp ends in so nobody gets, there's no poking. So we're just going to grab, let me see this one. Which way do I want it to go? Okay. Yeah, I'll do it in the opposite. Sometimes it's nice to have them both swirls to facing the same side, but I think this one will look pretty if we do it opposite. Like that. Again, we're just going to see how it will push the wires out of the way if you use your regular pliers. So let's continue with our nylon jaw plier. Like that. And then this guy, I'm not going to do it as close to the end because I want to put them right here to the bail, I mean, because let me see. There, see, just like that. I think he'll look really pretty. And now we have our bail and we have our stone ready to go. All right, so now that we're done with our pendant, we're going to move that to the side for just a minute. And we're going to take some soft flex beading wire. And I want my necklace to be 24 inches long. So if I want a 24-inch necklace, I'm going to cut two pieces of 28 inches each. And that way, because I want to do a double strand, so I'm going to do, that gives me 2 inches on each side to have extra for, you know, the crimping and the clasp and all that stuff. So, all right, so I have my two pieces of the beading wire. They're 28 inches each. Okay, so I ended up drilling a larger hole here on my polymer clay flower, which I think looks super cute. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. And what we're going to do is, for example, I have these, I'm going to put in next to, these two green ones. And I have here from my Beads to Live By Curated collection some of these seed beads like this. And so I'm just going to add 10 seed beads on each side of this color. All 4 strands will have 10 seed beads in this turquoise color. So let's go ahead and keep adding these beads. Okay, so here is the finished necklace. What do you guys think? I think it turned out super cute. I'm moving these out of the way. These, I had to put, you know, I was using two strands of beading wire. There's actually had to drill, you know, make the hole with my bead reamer. I had to make the holes a little bit larger so that it would accommodate both strands. But other than that, the other ones I had no problem bringing them through. And this is how so far we're going along. And now we're going to move on to our last part. You're probably like, oh my gosh, there's still more. Yes, yes there is. So now what we're going to use is something called the Conetastic. And if you've never heard of this, it's a little gadget. Let me show you. It's this gadget right here, and you use it to make, as its name, a cone. You can have different sizes, and let me show you. See, you've got different size of cones that you can make. I'm going to go with the one that's on there right now. And this one is to make our final little tassel. So I grabbed 20 gauge tarnish resistant silver wire, 20 gauge. So what I'm going to do, what you do with this one, first let's make sure that we are really getting that. I love my Conetastic because then I don't need ends, like what do you call it, cord ends. Or especially if I'm making, like I said, like right now, if I'm making a tassel, I just use my Conetastic. So you just put it through here. I think this will fit. You put your wire through here, which will anchor it on, and then you just start to twist, and just kind of hold it in place, and then twist the tool. See, there we go. And then you just cut right there, and you have your little tassel topper. So that's all we need for that. So we're going to move on to our next material, which is some wildfire. We're going to use wildfire, and I took 2 wingspans of this wildfire. And the nice thing about the wildfire is so easy to thread because it's got some wax on it. So all you do is squish the end and it turns into like a little paddle. Okay, so here's what I'm doing. I'm doing these little cute tassels for this stone, and you'll see why, but I first made a knot, and I'll show you. I made a knot and I put on all my beads, and then I went through the through this leaf and then right back up, and now I made another knot here. So this time I'm going to start with these, and it doesn't have to be too long or too short. I mean, I think close to different sizes would be fun. So like for example, I'm going to put right now 6, oh nope, wrong bead, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I put 10 on this one. We're going to bring it down to the knot. Sorry, let me move this out of the way so you guys can see what I'm doing. Oh, and I took out some of these small beads as fillers as well to put it in between the flowers. So I'm going to grab one of my polymer clay flowers and put this guy through here. Bring it all the way down. And then let's see, let's do 1, 2, 3, 4 of these. Well, 5. I'll do 5 of these, and then a silver one. Like I said, I think the more buried, it won't look so. It'll give it a little more character, and we'll see how many tassels we can get out of here. So we have like that, and then I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then one of these. Well, no, you know what? I'm gonna do another flower. Oh, where's the little holes? There we go. Put another little flower, and you can even measure them because this is how they're gonna go. So you can measure them side by side. And for example, here it looks like I already want to just add some more of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna do 4. Well, let's do one more. 5. Then I'm gonna grab one of the leaves and put it through here. See, through there. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back up. And I like this long needle ended up working really well for this, because I can get really pretty far up here. See, so you just bring it back out. We still have a little more to go, but and I wanted to do this with wildfire because since it's a tassel, we wanted to have movement. And okay, make sure it's all going through. And then it's, see, there it is. And then we can just finish putting it through the rest of the beads right here. There. Bring it back out. All right. So now we've got 2 of our tassels, and then I'm just gonna leave again another space here, and I'm gonna make another knot. So we'll probably get 4 or 5 tassels out of here. So let's continue to make these tassels. All right, so we're on the finish line, and now I made all the tassels here, and we're at the finish line. I mean, not on the finish line. Well, it could be on the finish line too. All right, because this video is taking far too long. So what we're gonna do now that we have our tassels hanging on here, I grabbed a piece of 20 gauge wire, and I'm not going to cut it just yet. What I need to do is make sure that it's nice and wrapped around this wire. So I'm going to move this to the side, and I'm going to put this one down 90 degrees. Even my dog's getting impatient. 90 degrees like that. And this one 90 degrees up. So it'll look like an L. Make sure that they're all, yeah, they're just some are longer than the other. What I'm trying to do is make sure that we have all this thread caught up in here so that it makes it more secure. Make sure it's not, and I might just, I will be putting some glue here for, I'm going to cut these off. I will be putting some glue on these ends, maybe even some E6000 on here, and then cut these here like this. All right, so here we go. There's our cone that we made with our Cone-tastic device, and now what we're going to do is see where we can hang these these guys. Okay, so we're gonna put it on this circle here. So bend this 90 degrees, and I am gonna make a wrap loop so that it doesn't come off. If we do a simple loop, I'm afraid it won't, you know, any little pull on it will come off. And then I'm just going to wrap this guy here. So there we go. And this is our multimedia, because we did so many techniques in here. We did some wire wrapping. We used our Cone-tastic. We made some tassels with some fire line so that they would hang nicely. They would be loose. We did some beading wire with, I mean, if you haven't seen me do the crimping, you can definitely check out my other videos where I show more in step, because if I had done that on here, this video would be gazillion hours long. It already took me 3 days to film this video. All right, so there we go. That is our multimedia necklace using the seed beads and check beads from Beads to Live By. Thank you, Beads to Live By, again for sending me these. Thank you, Cassandra. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, then hit that subscribe button, because I'm going to be using the rest of these seed beads and other projects. Yeah, if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. It really helps my channel. And in the meantime, I'm going to leave you with the another Beads to Live By unboxing up here that you can check out. And I'll see you over there. Bye.